Yep. Yes, sir. Okay, ready? No. I decided to take these glasses off before they fall off my head. Okay, now I am.
You don't have 8 more tubes to pull out?
No, not yet. Ready?
like that one.
Not that fast at the end. Klaxon. No repeats.
Charlie, give me just a minute here. I got
Yeah, between Tucker,
Everybody heard it, no repeats, right? No repeats.
between Tucker and me, we can take a lot of time emptying our slides, can't we, Tucker?
problem is that this little horn got like this isn't the surface you don't have to juggle.
Oh,
So
so it's turnaround time.
it's rotated around. I got most of it.
Ah, there you go.
Okay, we ready?
Nope.
Something that sounded like somebody talking. Oh, it's right behind me. That's what it's here.
Hallelujah, amen.
After I empty, I'm starting to gurgle. At least through my first valve. Ah, there it is. Sometimes I wish all my valve slides had waterproofs on them.
Sure.
That'd be a pain, pain in the butt.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm
guys
all
start,
set.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they start. I'm sorry, I should have let you know. just like you to be quiet behind us while we're playing. So rude. I'm sorry. It is.
Their day, not ours.
That's the faculty. There's no kids in there. They don't have to do it right behind us while we're playing.
That's why they're paying us.
You know what's interesting? I think there's so much background music now.
People don't pay attention to it. You're right.
They don't listen.
You're right.
It's always
St. Louis Blues.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Yep. Are you counting us in? Am I counting us in? What's happening?
He starts.
Oh.
You start it.
You guys.
start, I just have it down.
You
Okay.
started.
Pull it up.
Please be seated. Good afternoon, graduates, guests of the graduates, and honored members of the Stark State College community on the platform. I'm Dr. Lady Gibson Shreve, Provost and Chief Academic Officer of Stark State College, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 81st Commencement Ceremony for Stark State. This is a special time to formally honor the accomplishments of each individual in this class and mark the new opportunities for progression in their prospective career paths. Please join me in extending our thanks to the Falls River Brass Quintet, who is providing the excellent music this afternoon. At this time, it is my privilege to introduce Ryan Johanning, Interfaith Campus Ministries, who will give the reflection. I ask that you stand for the reflection. Please remain standing afterwards, at which time Haroon Rashid, First Vice Chair of the Stark State College Board of Trustees, will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and the Stark State Chorale will sing the Star-Spangled Banner.
It is a privilege to be here today with many vibrant and intelligent students who are eager to live out their callings and make a difference in the world. You are not here by accident, but rather because of hard work, dedication, and perseverance. As we look around, we give thanks for the family and friends that surrounded you and the ways they have helped you, whether it was aiding you in your studies or simply offering encouragement and love. We're also grateful for all the staff and faculty who prepared and encouraged you to pursue your dreams and passions. Enjoy this day, one that you will always remember.
Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Making arrangements for a graduation requires the time and talents of many dedicated personnel. They are scattered throughout the audience. We compliment them and thank them for their contributions to the success of this event. Please join me in recognizing the outstanding efforts of these individuals. On the platform are Dr. Para Jones, President of the college, the Vice Presidents, and the Deans. Seated on the floor are the college faculty and staff who are dedicated to student success and the mission of Stark State College. I ask the faculty and staff to stand and be recognized by the graduates and the audience. The dedicated group that just stood is the very visible part of our great institution. Also, there is another group, not as visible on a daily basis, but I assure you, just as dedicated. These individuals, who also voluntarily give their time, talent, and energy, are the members of the Stark State College Board of Trustees. It is my pleasure to introduce them. I ask them to stand as I call their name and to remain standing until all have been introduced, and then I ask the audience to recognize them for their dedicated service to our college and the community that we serve. Mrs. Karen Lefton, Chair. Mr. Haroon Rashid, First Vice Chair. Mrs. Elaine Russell Rayoffy, Second Vice Chair. Ms. Tracy Carter. Mrs. Marley Fernandez. Mrs. Alice Stevens. Mrs. Patricia Wackerly. Mr. Jeffrey Walters. Mr. Fonda Williams II. Please join me in recognizing our Board of Trustees. Stark State College has a tradition of honoring our graduating service members and veteran students. The college made available red, white, and blue military recognition cords to wear during commencement to show our gratitude for their service to our country. We are proud to recognize their commitment, sacrifice, and service. I ask the service members and veterans who are graduating, as well as those in the audience, to stand and be recognized for your commitment and dedicated service to our country. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Para Jones, President of Stark State College. Dr. Jones will come to the podium to speak to you about the opportunity to stay involved with Stark State College as an alumnus and to introduce our distinguished graduation speaker. Dr. Jones.
Graduates, families, friends, faculty, and staff, welcome, and thank you for being here today to congratulate, celebrate, and honor our Fall 2022 graduates. Thank you for the support you've given to today's graduates. Graduates, today is the day to celebrate and reflect on your success. Today's honor is the result of your hard work and effort, those late nights, early mornings, and weekends, as you sacrificed what you wanted to do for what you knew you had to do. Congratulations, you are about to become graduates of Stark State College. Take advantage of your opportunities as a college graduate. You are entering one of the healthiest job markets in history. Unemployment is at record lows. The career outlook has never been better for college graduates. Your degree from Stark State College is valued by employers and the community. Take advantage of opportunities to continue learning and growing in your professional and personal lives. Give back. Give back to family, friends, career, and community. Lean into your life. Make a difference. As you cross the stage today to receive your college diplomas, you will become one of thousands of Stark State College alumni who are distinguishing themselves professionally and personally, and who truly make a difference in your careers, your lives, and your communities. As a Stark State alumnus, you have many opportunities to obtain assistance, develop yourselves professionally, and reach out to help others through the college's Alumni Association and College Foundation. The resources of Stark State College and all that it has to offer are always available to you. On behalf of our Board of Trustees, faculty, and staff, thank you. We are so proud of what you have accomplished. We bid you goodbye as a student and welcome you as a Stark State College alumnus. And this is always an honor for me to introduce our commencement speaker, and our fall 2022 speaker is our own Dr. Nathan Miller. Dr. Nate Miller is an assistant professor in the biology department at Stark State, where he has been teaching microbiology and anatomy and physiology courses since 2017. He received a Doctor of Chiropractic and Bachelor of Science degree from National University of Health Sciences and a Bachelor of Science from Brigham Young University. He co-authored the chapter on back muscles in Bergman's Comprehensive Encyclopedia of Human Anatomic Variation. He is an active member of the American Association of Clinical Anatomists and the Human Anatomy and Physiology Society. Dr. Miller is the faculty advisor of our Stark State College Student Biology Honorary Tri Beta. When not working, Dr. Miller enjoys spending time with his wife and 4 children. Please join me in welcoming our fall 2022 commencement speaker, Dr. Nate Miller.
Thank you, Dr. Jones, for that very nice introduction. All of you at some point today need to thank Dr. Jones because a few weeks ago she sent me a very nice email in which she stated that this address should be about 10 minutes long. So when we're out of here early today, make sure you say thank you. But I'm very, very pleased to be here and to speak with you today and to celebrate the achievements of the graduates here. I'm sure for almost all of you graduates, this has been a long and arduous journey. Now, many commencement speakers use their time to talk about where you're going to be going in the next few years. But I would like to take a few minutes here and talk about where you've been. When I moved to Ohio several years ago, I met a man at my church. Now, he's since become a very good friend of mine, but as soon as he learned about my new job teaching at Stark State College, he immediately went into a rant about what a waste of time and money higher education was. It turns out he had spent several years at Kent State University in their architecture program, and he decided that he really wasn't getting what he wanted to out of the program, and so he dropped out of school and started a property development business. Now, over the years, he's become quite successful, but this conversation got me thinking. What is the benefit of getting an education? My friend's voice is certainly not the only one these days questioning the need and expense of earning a degree. Now, one of the main concerns seems to be centered around the usefulness of the education. If you don't learn things that directly lead to job attainment and success, then you are wasting your time and money. As I have pondered this, I have come to appreciate what an amazing blessing education is to individuals and communities. There are many areas I could focus on in this speech, such as how college grads earn more money, and they absolutely do. I could focus on the fact that college grads have better health. College grads are also less likely to be unemployed than their high school graduating counterparts. Now, I could go on, but what I want to focus on today are some of the ways getting an education has developed and changed you far beyond the job-ready skills that you learned in the classroom. Now, my undergraduate degree was in exercise science, a field that I immensely enjoy. Now, very early on in my classes, I learned about a principle that's called the SAID principle. SAID is an acronym that stands for Specific Adaptations to Imposed Demands. Now, in a nutshell, what this principle teaches us and tells us is that if we want a specific change or a specific adaptation to take place, then there needs to be a demand of some sort to make the change, and vice versa. The SAID principle is exemplified in the story of Milo of Croton. Milo was a famous Greek wrestler in the 6th century BC. Now, he was known for his feats of strength. He was also known for his 6 Olympic wrestling victories and was widely believed to be the strongest man on the planet in his day. Now, Milo's strategy for building this superhuman strength was an easy one. It was the SAID principle, or whatever the ancient Greek equivalent was at the time. One day, a calf was born on his farm, and Milo, for whatever reason, decided to lift this cow up onto his shoulders and walk around his farm. Okay, and really, really strange. I don't quite get it, but that's just what Milo did. And what he did is he came back the next day and he picked that same calf up, and the next day, and the next day, and he did this for 4 years. Now, the trick was, as the cow was growing, Milo was growing, adapting, he was changing along with the cow. So, at the end of the 4 years, he was lifting a full-grown cow at that point. Now, as the story goes, he carried the cow into the Olympic Stadium in front of all of his wrestling competitors. He then killed, roasted, and ate it. Now, as the kids would say these days, this is the ultimate flex. I personally really just hope he shared. Now, these last several years, each of you have had the many, many demands imposed on you. Some of them have been very obvious, such as exams, homework, presentations, group projects, and we'll say over-enthusiastic instructors. While these have been important in your development, I believe the less obvious demands are more influential and where many of the deeper benefits of higher education are found. While it is true that not everyone needs to go to college and that you can't be successful without a degree, I believe that the college campus is the rare place where you can find a large variety of challenges to test you and help you grow. And I want to share a couple of these, my own experiences, just to kind of illustrate what I'm talking about. So I went to Brigham Young University, which is a very, very large graduate school. I remember when I was in high school, my high school teachers, particularly the senior year, kept telling my classmates and I that they were preparing us for our college courses, our college classes. Well, my very first day in my college class, I found my classroom, which was amazing in and of itself. That should have given me some points right there. But when I opened the door, I was greeted to an auditorium full of about 900 students. This was my very first class, and there were 900 students in there. I walked in completely dumbstruck. Somebody handed me a syllabus. I had no idea what that was, and I sat down. The professor stood up on a dais, very similar to what I'm standing on today, and after a very brief introduction, started to talk about Chapter 1. I had no idea that I was supposed to have read the chapter before I even got to the class that day. So many different challenges, okay? But this situation required me to adapt to these new challenges. I had to learn very, very quickly to process and retain large amounts of information. I had to learn to study efficiently and effectively and to take good notes. I learned how important it was to go to class, because if I missed class, I was behind quite a bit. Okay? I couldn't tell you a single fact that I learned from that semester in general biology, but I can tell you that the skills I learned to adapt to that classroom have benefited me throughout my life. Now, I will also say one of the most important things I learned from that class was that I could be successful, that I could meet and overcome those challenges. Now, the second experience that stands out very vividly in my mind was my first semester physiology course at the chiropractic college I went to. The instructor was, we'll say he was very interesting. I have since come to appreciate and understand what he was trying to accomplish with his teaching methods, but at the time, it was extremely stressful situation. In fact, the first day of class, he told us that we all, there's a Myers-Briggs personality test, and he told us that we were all in one corner of the test, and he was in the exact opposite corner. And so he saw the world just a completely different way than the rest of us did. Okay? So for example, he would spend about 20 minutes talking about a physiological principle. The whole class was in there just furiously scribbling notes and just trying to keep up with this train of thought. And it was right about the point where things started to make sense, where he would pause, he would look up, and he'd say, "That's the way we used to think it worked. Okay? And now we know this is the way it works." So we just spent 20 minutes scribbling notes on something that was an outdated principle, and it just didn't, the groans, the furious ripping up of these notes didn't deter him even in the slightest. Okay? But what I had to learn from this class was I had to learn to work with somebody that had a different mindset and a different personality than I had. I had to learn to think through a problem and come up with a reasonable answer instead of just memorizing and regurgitating. In other words, I had to start learning to think like a doctor. These were two great lessons that were not taught directly in the class, but have probably been more important to me than the three-compartment model I was supposed to learn. Whenever I have a student that just isn't getting it, I think of my own experience, and I remind myself that maybe they just think a little differently than I do. Now, I know I should admit this because I teach anatomy and physiology, but I was extremely happy to get a C in that class. Okay? In undergrad, they have the saying, C's get degrees, and once you get beyond that, D stands for doctor. Okay? So let me briefly discuss some additional things that I think you learned by becoming educated that will be invaluable to you going forward. Now, as I talk about these things, I want you to note that your learning is not, nor will it ever be, complete. There is always some new insight to be gained or skill to master, even in areas that you feel you are proficient. Now, first, to become a college graduate and to make the big bucks, you had to learn to make good decisions and set your priorities. Now, make no mistake, you sit here today because you made hundreds, if not thousands, of good decisions and just as many bad ones. I have learned, as each of you has, that you never just make the decision once, but you have to make the decision every day. This world is full of people who made a decision to get an education, but who never actually finished. So why are you sitting here today and they're not? Because you made the decision every day to get up and go to class. You made the decision every day to turn in the assignment and to study for the tests. You made these decisions every day, even when those decisions were hard. You also learned how to prioritize your time. I would say the average student in my classroom has a full-time job, a couple of kids, and probably just as many dogs and cats. There are many, many things that are competing for your time and attention. Dallin Oaks, who is a former justice of the Utah Supreme Court, said the following, quote, "We should recognize the reality that just because something is good is not a sufficient reason for doing it. The number of good things we can do far exceeds the time available to accomplish them. Some things are better than good, and these are the things that should command priority attention in our lives," end quote. To get here today, You had to figure out what was most important to you. In other words, what was better than good. All of you learned to make sacrifices of time and money, of energy and effort, all for something that was better. Now, I'll also say that I believe that you all learned to look to the future. And for some of you, just the fact that you could see a future from your education. One of the most common responses that I hear from students when I ask them why they are pursuing a degree is that they want a better life for themselves and for their kids. Now, again, I will admit money is the first response, but this is a close second. I personally am a second-generation college student. None of my grandparents attended college. In fact, one of my grandmothers was the first in her family to graduate high school, and she was the 8th kid in the family. So there were 7 other kids in front that never even graduated high school. I also learned recently that my grandfather, who was a soldier in World War II and fought in Europe, he did get a little bit of education with the military, but was kicked out for fighting, which is somewhat ironic if you really think about it for a second. But both my parents were first-generation college graduates, and both of them eventually earned a master's degree. I asked my mom why she went to school, and I will admit again her response was less than inspiring. She went because all of her friends were going, and she had nothing better to do. But it does go to show that any reason to get an education is a good one. Now, while they may not have completely understood the importance of their decision, their examples and their expectations have driven most of their children, 6 out of 9 of us, to earn degrees. Your willingness to pursue your dreams will have a profound effect on those around you for generations to come. Now, what else did you learn? You also learned how to study and learn. Now, these are 2 skills that are highly underappreciated in a world with YouTube. You learned how to work in a group. Okay, there was a reason for all those group projects. You learned how to critically think about a topic, form an opinion, and express yourselves intelligently. I could continue on and on with all the things that you learned, but I won't. But needless to say, these are all things that you might have been able to learn on your own, but the college classroom is the only place I know of where you find the many different demands to help you learn all these lessons and skills. You'll come up here on the stage and you'll stand before the faculty, your friends, and your family. Today, changed people. These changes occurred incrementally. They were small little changes here and there. You may not have even noticed that they were occurring, but you are a very, very different person from when you started your first class. Now, one final thought this afternoon. I believe that you all have a lot more in common with Milo of Croton than you might think. Milo's wrestling competitors only saw the finished product, his glorious entry into that Olympic stadium with the cow on his shoulders. What they didn't see was the daily grind to get there. They didn't see the struggles and failures. They didn't see the setbacks and the disappointments. Similarly, only you know what it took to get you here today. You have adapted to the demands placed upon you and are now counted as college graduates. You don't have a cow to lift as you walked in this morning, but you do get a diploma, which is every bit the accomplishment. So I ask you that you lift it high and be proud of your achievements, but please just don't eat it. I congratulate each of you and thank you very much.
Thank you, Nate, for those inspiring words. This afternoon, we will be recognizing each member of the graduating class of Fall 2022. In every instance, I am confident the graduate could not have achieved as well without the support and sacrifice offered by many of you with us today and others unable to be present. Spouses of our graduates, children, parents, relatives, and friends, we at Stark State join our graduates in recognizing your sacrifices and support. Congratulations to you, along with our graduates. At this time, I ask the deans to join me at the podium to make their recommendation for conferring of degrees.
Candidates for the Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, and Associate of Applied Science in the Arts and Sciences Division, please stand. Provost Leda Gibson-Shreve, inasmuch as these students have successfully completed the prescribed program for the Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, and Associate of Applied Science at Stark State College, I, Dr. Andrew Steffen, as Dean of the Arts and Sciences Division, with the approval of the faculty, recommend them for conferring of these degrees. Candidates, please be seated.
Candidates for the Associate of Applied Business, Associate of Applied Science, Associate of Science, and Associate of Technical Studies in the Business, Engineering, and Information Technologies Division, please stand. Provost Gibson-Shreve, inasmuch as these students have successfully completed the prescribed program for the Associate of Applied Business, Associate of Applied Science, Associate of Science, and Associate of Technical Studies degrees at Stark State College, I, Dr. Don Ball, as Dean of Business, Engineering, and Information Technologies Division, with the approval of the faculty, recommend them for conferring of these degrees. Candidates, please be seated.
Candidates for the Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Associate of Applied Science, and Associate of Technical Studies in Health and Public Services Division, please stand. Provost Leda Gibson-Shreve, inasmuch as these students have successfully completed the prescribed program for the Associate of Arts, the Associate of Science, Associate of Applied Science, and Associate of Technical Studies degrees at Stark State College, I, Sherry Shepis, as Assistant Dean of Health and Public Services Division, with the approval of the faculty, recommend them for conferring of these degrees. Candidates, please be seated.
President Jones, these students have successfully fulfilled the prescribed programs: Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Associate of Applied Business, Associate of Applied Science, and Associate of Technical Studies. These applications have been certified by the Registrar of Stark State College. As Provost and Chief Academic Officer, I therefore recommend them to you as worthy candidates for conferring of degrees. Dr. Jones will now come forward to recommend the candidates to the Board of Trustees.
Board Chair, members of the Board of Trustees, on behalf of the faculty and administration of Stark State College, it is my pleasure to present to you the graduating class of Fall 2022. These candidates have met all of the requirements as set forth by the Ohio Department of Higher Education and the Board of Trustees of Stark State College. And now I call forward Stark State College Board of Trustees Chair Karen Lefton to approve the candidates.
Thank you, Dr. Jones. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I accept the recommendation of the faculty and administration. The candidates of the Fall 2022 graduating class are hereby approved for their respective degrees. Will the candidates please come forward and be recognized for completion of their degrees?
The following student will be receiving an Associate of Science degree in Biology. Stephanie Lynn Kishwanis with distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Early Childhood Education. Simone Alexis Serrato. Carissa L. Harper. Sydney Noel Spear. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Science degree in Education. Kara Lee Files with distinction. Amber R. Hooks with high distinction. Kara Lee Pritchard with distinction. Skylar Patrick Schifferly. Shanice Jaquay Singletary. Nadia V. Saunier with high distinction. Kelly Marie Stevenson. Natalie Ann Woodlock. The following student will be receiving an Associate of Arts degree in English. Patricia J. Jones with distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Arts degree in Psychology. Jamie L. Botzer. Brianna Celeste Cheney. Alexis Clark with a second degree in Criminal Justice. Amber Nicole James. Orion Andrew McCorvey with distinction. The following student will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Technical Communication. Lindsay D. Zavada with high distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Arts degree. Jamie L. Billslings. Jasmine L. Billings. Andrew Stephen Bowie with distinction. Amber Marie Dixon with a second degree in Public Services. Destiny Lorraine Marie Ellis. Cameron F. Gattuso. Jamison Michael Lutton with distinction. Juan Serradell. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Science degree. Tiffany Amber Miller. Yedinar Y.M. Moon with distinction. Elizabeth A. Thomas. Jacob Tyler Brillhart. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in 3D Motion Graphics Technology. Adam Holland Graysock. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Business degree in Accounting. Brianna Nicole Metz. Thomas Vernon Cyril. Kali Marie Turks. Dietrich Mayer Wilder. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Business degree in Administrative Office Professional. Ann M. Eichelberry. Natalie Elizabeth Smith with high distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Automotive Technology. Zachary Tyler Abel. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Business degree in Business Management. Stephanie Alisma. Sam S.B. Barali. Larika Sharice Bell. Davon M. Blackwell. David Wayne Birch II with high distinction. Alex T. Hensley. Jessica A. Holliday. Pierre Jean Jude. Jacqueline A. Castor. Jennifer L. Kishwanis. Ka Lee. Kayla R. Lane with high distinction. Alexis Tyler Lutis. Michael P. Matashoni. Dominique Marie McDaniel. Reagan Michelle Miley. Tracy J. Murphy with high distinction. Diamond Laree Myers. Crystal Cerise Pleska with distinction. Jesse Josiah Roberson. Brady Carl Schmetzler. Michael David Schwitzwalder. Zachary Jason Stropke. Michael Louis Zerby with distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Civil Engineering Technology. William N. Demos. Ralph E. Flynn III with distinction. Rachel Leanne Nicewander with distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Computer Graphics Arts. Jamon R. Dye. Haley Darlene Sturrett with high distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Business degree in Computer Network Administration and Security Technology. Ezekiel O. Callaghan with high distinction. Jonathan D. Leckie with distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate Applied Business degree in Computer Programming and Database. Christopher Dickey. Sam Glenn Go with high distinction. Cody R. Napier with distinction. Gwen Robinson with high distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Computer Science and Engineering. Franklin Andrew Henry Burton. Ashraf Hussein with distinction. Michael J. Lalonde. Haley Michelle Lamb with distinction. Zachary David Paul with distinction.
The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Business degree in Computer Technology. Nolan Hugh Laughlin with distinction. Shane Michael McMahon. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Digital, Video, and Media Technology. Samuel Andrew Bachtel. Mark R. Butera with distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Electrical Electronic Engineering Technology. Benjamin Caleb Barron. Cody A. Eddy. Brett A. Reach with distinction. The following student will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Electrical Maintenance Technology. Erica Lindsay Taylor, with high distinction, with a second degree in Industrial Technology. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Heating, Ventilation, Air Conditioning, and Refrigeration Technology. Jacob Thomas Linkus. The following student will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Homeland Security Information Technology. Rachel Dawn Cherry. The following student will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Industrial Technology. Stephen Emmanuel Anderson, Jr. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Business degree in Marketing and Sales Management. Chance R. Short. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Mechanical Engineering Technology. Kevin B. Mitchell, with high distinction. Haley Elizabeth Poe. Daniel J. Roller. Nathan P. Spurlock. The following student will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Music Production and Engineering. Samuel G. Almasy, with distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Technical Studies degree in Information Technology. Vincent Gabriel Gay. Joshua Brooks Malone, with distinction. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Concept-Based Nursing. Tyler J. Boyarsky. Lanice Cherie Boyd. Nancy Lynn Bray. Rhiannon J. Cantor. Ronald Edwin Kahn, Jr., with distinction. Jacqueline Marie Greenwald. Jennifer E. Kozera. Ruthie Marie McKinney. Erica K. Mills. Christina Marie Ruschel. Ryan Mitchell Schließman. Michelle J. Smith, with distinction. Michaela Jo Sowers, with distinction. Amanda L. Stuckey. Anne Marie Weiss. Maria Lynn Westfall. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Arts degree in Criminal Justice. Tacoma R. Brooks. Brooklyn Shea Brown, with distinction. Michaela Leanne Hooten. Clarissa May Salyers. Adam Thomas Shaw. Quantella K. Smith. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Science degree in Dental Assisting. Brandy Monique Dunn. Ellie Amanda Frazier. The following student will be receiving an Associate of Science degree in Dietetic Technician. Karen Jeanette Wheatley, with distinction. The following student will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Emergency Fire Services. Emma Elizabeth Rafferty, with a second degree in Emergency Medical Services. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Emergency Medical Services. Destiny Michelle Hirschberger. Abigail L. Loffery. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Science degree in Expanded Functions Dental Auxiliary. Takara V. Alexander. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Human and Social Services. Kelly A. Bigelow. Shauna Janine Blankenship. Danielle W. Engelman. Paige Elise Gerber. Angela Julia Hernandez. Shannon Johnson. Courtney Ann Lombardo, with distinction. Alexis Jordan Miller. Deanna Smith. Christina Marie Waltz. Christy C. Wilson, with distinction. The following student will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Massage Therapy. Bridget Michelle Scobie. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Medical Assisting. Mackenzie Sierra Jordan Brunswick. Ainon Shan. Carly Ryan Hanshin. Courtney Amber Shank, with distinction. Ariel Marie Vincek Sharapita. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Occupational Therapy Assistant. Allison E. Anderson, with distinction. Amber N. Benson, with distinction. Alexander G. Gonadakis. Jared Evans Hicks. Mackenzie Doreen Kendrick. Danielle Marie Kennedy. Emily B. Lukens. Amber D. Morris. Alexa Ann Peterman, with distinction. Cameron Danielle Putman. Kristen A. Shar. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Arts degree in Police Science. John V. DeLillo, with distinction. Jalen A. McCants. The following student will be receiving an Associate of Applied Science degree in Surgical Technology. Emily Louise Spletzer. The following students will be receiving an Associate of Technical Studies degree in Public Services. John E. Edwards. Christy Lee Nelson, with distinction. Jennifer Lane Sells.
Will the candidates for graduation please stand? Based upon the recommendations of the faculty and the power invested in me by the state of Ohio, I do hereby bestow upon you the respective Associate of Arts degree, Associate of Science degree, Associate degree of Applied Business, Associate degree of Applied Science, and Associate degree of Technical Studies, with all the rights and privileges and responsibilities pertaining thereto. As a symbol of completion of your degrees, graduates, please switch your tassels from the right to the left side of your caps. Congratulations. Graduates, you may be seated. At this time, I would like to ask Ryan Johanning of Interfaith Campus Ministries to the stage to offer reflection. Ryan?
Graduates, let me express my sincere congratulations to each of you. All of you are indeed deserving of the praise, tribute, and accolades that have been sent your way. Enjoy your well-earned honor. As you depart today, think of the ways that you can utilize your training and expertise that you've received from Stark State College to serve and enhance the lives of others.
I am sure you join me in the honor of being a part of this special ceremony. I also extend my congratulations to the graduates, and we wish each of you best luck in your chosen careers. At this time, and out of respect for our graduates, members of the audience, please remain in your seats until the platform party and the last graduates have left the auditorium. Thank you.
Thank you.